And these are some of the most popular questions that were posted by people that were coming to the summit, and just in general that people ask all the time about the products. And we're going to kind of keep in mind when we answer, maybe, not just the facts, but how we might want to share that information with other people in terms of benefits for them, okay? So the first question we get, I know this is a favorite of Dustia's. It's funny because I think it's important to understand the facts, but then also how do we translate that? And you're here to learn, so this is an appropriate environment in which we might, speak some facts to you so you kind of get it up here. But then also it's important, how are we going to actually share that information with somebody who's in a hurry and has 20 other things going on, and you're trying to capture their attention for like 2 seconds and trying to answer these really profound questions, really, when you think about how to answer them properly. So the first one is soy. And soy as it relates to hormones, soy as it relates to cancer, and of course our favorite topic, soy as it relates to man boobs.
Well, first you just take a look at John. Does he have man boobs? When they can bounce, they're not man boobs. They're muscle. Good job. Well, when you can make them bounce. When they bounce when you run, they might be man boobs. But when you can make them bounce on command, they are muscle. So soy builds muscle. So yes, our soy might have had something to do with the creation of those man boobs. Good job. So this is really near and dear to my heart, right? So I've been in practice now in my clinic at Cypress Natural Medicine for 13 years. And when I was in medical school, soy was, it was like magic. In men, hormones, right? Heard a lot. We've heard about making boys have boobs, men have boobs. I haven't seen man boobs ever in practice, and would you like to stand up, Brian, and show us your boobs? No, okay. He doesn't have any boobs. He's been on Juice Plus Complete. And my dad, would you like to show us yours? We've both been on Juice Plus Complete for a long period of time. I think we need to do a calendar. And Dave, you're going to do this, right? Dave, stand up, show us your non-man boobs. Yes. There we go. Someone's going to do this calendar, because we actually reduce man boobs with our soy. And we know that you already heard Erica, can't remember her name. Courtney, that's right. We've already heard Courtney say that it is non-GMO and water washed, which is very different. You can't find that in most, and it's not an isolated, fragmented, it is whole food, and that's a huge difference. Soy in the whole food form is protective for our bodies. It's actually shown to be protective for breast cancer and prostate cancer. And how I would describe it is the soy, or any kind of phytohormone, phytoestrogen, is actually what you call adaptogenic to hormones. And that is, if you're estrogen, or you're making a lot of estrone, which is a toxic high estrogen, if your hormones are too high, it actually brings down the reactivity or the stimulation of your receptors for hormones. And if they're too low, it actually brings it up. So it actually is what we call an adaptogen, like balancing out the playing field. Any more questions on that? Rocks. Good. Oh, rocks. You want to talk about rocks? So, and they're also like, if you're avoiding, so they're telling someone to avoid hormones, right? If you're going to avoid hormones, avoid meat. They actually make their own hormones, and you're eating them. And I'm not saying that everyone should be a vegan, that's not my point, but if you're trying to avoid hormones, you need to eat rocks, because phytoestrogens, phytohormones are in our plants. They're in everything from the red clover to soy to any plant food has some version of phytoestrogens, because they balance out our system and help us clean out hormones. That's what they do. And if you're going to actually avoid hormones, you avoid meat, so you're avoiding someone else's hormones and just dealing with the own that you make in your own body.
So how many of you are doctors? Raise your hand. Okay, Jeff, good to see you. So this question comes up all the time. 25 years in practice, I get questions like this. And so I want to get it so the rubber hits the road for y'all. When someone asks you, because it's going to be your friend, it's going to be your sister-in-law, it's going to be your neighbor, someone you know and care about, that you're sharing this product with, and they're going to ask you about soy and these things. And so that information is awesome, but what you guys need to understand is always answer your question by asking another question. Ask them this: what is your normal state? I believe our normal, can I move? I'm better off moving. So I believe our normal state is one of great health and vitality, right? That's what normal is. Now, this body was designed to run on certain fuels. Who drives a diesel truck here? All right. So I drive a gasoline truck. If we go up together and you have a 5-gallon extra can of fuel, when I run out and I need to borrow your fuel and I put it into my truck, what's going to happen? And you guys just know that intuitively, right? You don't need to know there's research out there. You don't have to call General Motors Company and find out. Now, if I put diesel in my Chevy Silverado 1500, can I get back home? They're going to say, well, we have this published study that shows. No, you know this intuitively. So just think about this. Your body is a body by God. It was designed to run on fuels that were created on this planet, grown, picked, plucked, right? When you feed your body with the fuel it was intended to run on, you will thrive. If you feed it fuel that it is not intended to run on, you will be less than thriving. We call that dis-ease or disease, and over time we accumulate those things until we have symptoms. So ask these questions. Why do you ask? And then they're going to ask you some things. So one thing with food, and I'm going to wrap it up here, is the farther something away it is from its natural state, the more damaging and devastating it is for your engine, your fuel, for your body. So water-washed, minimally processed soy is beautiful. It's whole food. It was designed to be consumed by this engine, period.
Very good. Awesome. She brought the research with her. She's ready for a fight. I just want to reiterate what John said about that, like asking a question like, why do you ask, is a great way to find out more, because you could just, again, say a whole bunch of facts that just aren't going to land for people. So I almost want to do a role play here, because this comes up so often. Who recently ran into somebody who said something about soy? Okay, who wants to come up here and do a little role play with me and pretend to be the person asking? You want to do that, Radka? Okay, come on up here.
And you really, it is definitely food politics.
Yeah.
Food politics is why it's been spread on the internet so much. Food politics.
Okay.
So you're the person, and what happened? I'm sharing complete with you.
Yeah, yeah.
And what do you say?
I didn't start to speak yet. Well, my question is, this is wonderful information, but I have thyroid problem.
Okay, you have thyroid problem. And were you told by a doctor that the thyroid, that you can't have soy? That was the situation. So she didn't just say that she had a thyroid problem. She said, my doctor said I can't have soy and thyroid. That was the situation? Okay. Run into that, right? So my first question is, so this doctor who told you about soy and thyroid, has that doctor helped you resolve your thyroid issue? Do you still suffer from this thyroid issue? And if you do, has your doctor helped you with that situation? Pretend you're that person.
Not really. I'm still on a Synthroid, but I have all symptoms. But I'm so scared because everywhere it's like, it's goitrogen. Don't touch it.
So do you want to resolve the issue? Do you want to try something that your doctor hasn't suggested, or do you just want to stay on the Synthroid? Imagine 5 years from now, what would you like your health to look like? Or maybe even 60 days from now. Come closer.
I would love to not feel tired all the time and gaining weight and sleeping behind the desk. But, he's a doctor, and actually my nutritionist told me the same.
Okay, did the nutritionist help solve your thyroid issue?
Well, she is working on it, but I don't know now. Do you have any research about showing soy? It's actually
Research for you? Research for you or research for your doctor?
for myself. I go and surf internet and
I'm happy to share the research, but first I want to know, are you open to trying something new? Well, I know lots of people that I've been able to help with these products. If this product could help you resolve your thyroid issues, would you be willing to try it for, let's say, probably about 120 days?
okay.
Yes?
I will, but what is the difference, the soy which you are giving me compared to other soy?
It's clean, it's non-GMO. But my question to you is, if it has helped other people, would you be willing to try something that your doctor hasn't helped you, your nutritionist, what you're telling me is that your doctor hasn't helped you, your nutritionist hasn't helped you, and you are willing to try something new. Did I hear you right?
Yes.
Do you get that? Yeah. Do you get that interaction? What did you get about that interaction? Somebody.
It's her choice. It's about her. You're allowed to decide.
It's about her. I'm pointing out over and over, these people that you're listening to, they haven't helped you, have they? What else? How open? I asked, how many times did I ask her? How open? I got lots of information for you, but if you're not going to read it, I'm not going to share it with you, right? Okay, how many times did I ask her that, right? What else? You ask questions, you don't have to have that pile of research. Does that help? Yeah? Thank you.
He's really been teaching me a lot.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Radka. You can have the pile of research, but don't share it till they're ready to read it, till they're open-minded. And when you ask questions, you also show that you care a lot and that you're confident. When you ask questions and you keep, and continuing to say, and you're going to get this in the next question. Will Juice Plus or Transform 30 help with whatever condition or disease that they're asking about, right?
The answer that you all should say is, I don't know. That's the bottom line, but follow it with this. Let me ask you, what's your name? Caleb, do you have a dog? Do you love your dog? What's your dog's name? Tucker. I have a dog named Tucker. What kind of dog do you have? A German Pointer. Bird dog? Do you love to bird hunt? You would do anything for that dog because it takes good care of you, doesn't it? So when you go hunting with Tucker and you come home and he's done a great job, you want to reward him, right? Yeah. So you can swing by Dairy Queen and get a chicken strip basket and a Blizzard and a Mountain Dew, and when you get home, you can fill his water thing up with the Mountain Dew and give him the ice cream and the chicken strip basket and dip it in the gravy, right? I mean, he's been a good boy, right? Have you ever done that? Why? Don't you love? You said you love Tucker. I don't understand you. So you don't do that to your dog? No, why? He's not. Why? What does food have to do with it? Seriously, you wouldn't do that for Tucker? Do you do that for your kids? Like we know after the baseball game, it's like, oh man, we're in a hurry. God made minivans so that you can have a family meal together. So right? So you do that for your kids, but not your dog? I can't believe you, Caleb. And you're in the front row. This is horrible. So we know, though, that at least you love your dog enough to not give him that. And so oftentimes, when the simplest question is, I'm not sure, but I know this, that your body and my body will run so much better if we give it the right whole foods and fuel we need. And here, check this out. If I send you this link, these are some doctors talking about the benefits of putting this into your body. And guess what? I know this. There's lots of people that have had a similar issue that it's helped them with. But I know that, and then you can start asking questions. Anyway, that's what I do. Just make it so silly that it's like, I don't know, because you're not a doctor, so you just say, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but if I send you a link and then you can send the information. But don't try and be so smart, because the best answer is always, I don't know. Except for Destia knows.
And I have some research here that'll show you. I just ask questions, so that's exactly what I do. Because you don't know what it's going to do, but my probably most common question is, can you imagine what if you ate 45 different plants every day? What might be different in your body? But that I am so going to use that if I can remember that long-winded Tucker thing. That is hilarious.
It's really just anything like that, but just change their state and change their mind and get them thinking. It's not about that, and usually that's really an excuse. And so you just ask questions. Hey, Caleb, okay, so you don't do that for your dog. So how many fruits and veg on a great day? How many servings of fresh fruits and vegetables do you usually get?
Realistically, probably like that I eat myself.
Yeah, that you eat yourself, not give to Tucker. Yeah. So about 5. That's on a great day, on a good day. Yeah. How about, some days like on a Saturday you're busy. What would be like maybe on a bad day? Probably 3. That's pretty good, because I know some people on a bad day, they get up and have their Lucky Charms, and then they have their peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Of course, the jelly is a fruit, so there you go. And then they have pizza for dinner. So really, they had, jelly. That was their one. And did you know that pizza? That's right. The tomato sauce. So, but anyway, so did you know that for our bodies to really express perfect, great health and vibrant health, and I know you're concerned about this particular condition, that if you have between 7 to 13 fresh servings of fruits and vegetables every day, it'd make a big difference. Now, you're totally buff, dude, so I know you work out too, don't you? CrossFit guy? So, do you know, I actually saw a study where we need between 16 to 18 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables every day. Can you imagine if you're not getting that, what it's doing to your body? So, hey, listen, I'm not sure if it's going to be able to help that, but I know this, that I'm going to send you something. Will you look at it if I send you a link? It's going to tell you maybe some of the benefits doctors tell that it might make a difference for you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Can you look at that? Okay.
Yeah. So I want to be, I'm like, super realistic about this stuff, right? And I think one of the ways that we're sharing these kinds of stories with people is social media. And the company doesn't want us to make claims about the product, like let's say on your homepage. But let's say in a team page, like our Team Shining Star page, or if you have a team page, if you're on a different team, we have been asking questions, or if you're on the inner circle with our sideline buddies doing Transform 30, people have been asking, I just ran into somebody with diabetes, and I could say so